Hi guys, how's it going? It is me, Jack here, and welcome to episode number 5 of the Football Manager 2023 save with Birmingham City. Now today's episode, you join me for quite a big game. Before I say who it's against, I want to show you the road in the Carabao Cup. You might have seen from previous episodes a few of the games in terms of the journey that we've had, but this fourth round tie, if you're a Birmingham fan, is extra juicy. We beat Walsall 5-1 in the first round. In the second round, we beat Millwall, who are a championship side, by 2-1. The third round, we were very lucky and fortunate to get a League One club away, Barnsley. Tough game, but we were able to get a victory there to progress to the fourth round, in which we face Aston Villa away. I wanted a Premier League side just to see if we could test ourselves against a very good side, and we have been given a huge derby against Aston Villa. I said in, I think it was the second video against West Brom, that it wasn't a derby. That it actually was a derby, but this is the biggest derby of them all. Villa away. Before we get into that though, I want to show you the schedule from that mammoth 3-2 victory at home against Queen's Park Rangers. I said I'd come back for around the Middlesbrough game, but I'm coming back early just for this Villa game. We drew at home after QPR, 1-1 against Millwall. A disappointing game where, again, we just seem to always concede first. And we dominate the game, we just were unable to get the 3 points. And it's one of them games that we might look back on in the future and say, well, you know, this is the type of game where we should have got 3 points, and if we don't, that could be the difference between, you know, the top 2 positions, the top 6, anywhere really. Chong got us the goal, but we were just unable to get the winner. We beat Stoke 3-1 away though, and this is another one of them games where we had to really fight, even though we were 2-0 up. But 2 goals from Troy Deeney. Of course, he had that great goal scoring streak after me slating him, saying that he didn't do anything for us. He got the 2 against Stoke City, one of them from the penalty spot. And he's actually been fairly all right, to be fair now. 5 goals from 16, a little bit better. More what I expected of him, someone of 34 years of age. But yeah, really pleased with that, as he got us the 3 points there. After that, as I say, we beat Barnsley 1-0 away. Deeney scoring in that game, giving us the 3 points, giving us access to the fourth round. We beat Sunderland again, 3-1. Ellis Sims got a goal, but Bellingham got a 95th minute goal. Another penalty from Troy Deeney, and Austin Trusty opened the scoring. That meant the international break kicked in due to the World Cup, and we had 2 friendlies, one against Celtic and one against Châteauroux. We beat Celtic and we drew at home to Châteauroux, and then we bounced back with a 3-0 victory away from home against Blackpool. Trusty again from a header, Chong bagging a brace, and Trusty actually got sent off in the next game against Reading. Reading, who are a side that really are just sitting mid-table at the minute. We're fortunate when we got a man sent off. We did take the lead through Joby Bellingham, but Mamadou Loum got a goal before half-time and we're just unable to get that winning goal again. Bellingham, a bit of news on him. He became basically out of a non-contract and got a permanent contract, and then till 2024, and then we were able to offer him a contract until 2025 on 1.3k a week, which just gives us a little bit more security with him. I think he's unsure to sort of give himself a 4-year deal here, because I think he knows that there's going to be a point at such a young age where he's going to outgrow Birmingham City. But it's my aim to keep him here at this club, and I'm giving him game time week in, week out, and he's performing really well as of late. These past 4 games here, all rated above a 7. I think this could be the time where he starts to really develop, and he'll know the impact of this game against Aston Villa. He'll understand that this is a really massive game for all Birmingham City fans. The board injected some finance into the club. We got about 12 million injected, which, I mean, we are projected to lose, but a debt of £6 million by the end of the season is a little bit better than the debt of £20 million. Apart from that, though, really nothing else to shout about in terms of players. We had a few injuries. We've got a few suspensions for this game. Bielik was the big injury that we had. He was out because obviously the last episode, we had quite a few injuries, not many players to choose from. But Bielik has started to come back now, playing these past few games and done okay. But yeah, apart from that, let's just get straight into this game against Aston Villa because this is going to be big. We're second in the league. We are 6 points clear of Middlesbrough in third place, halfway through the season now, and I'm quietly confident of a decent campaign. 10 points clear of sixth. If we could get in this top six this season, it'd be a massive achievement, and I'm hoping that we can do that. Actually, squad-wise, I've handed a contract to John Ruddy. He's yet to confirm, but I think for one extra year, even if he's back up next season, if we were to be in the Premier League, because I probably want to bring in a first teamer, I think he's good enough quality. He sort of is the link between if we stay in the Championship or if we go to the Prem, he'd be probably third goalkeeper, second backup keeper, I don't know. And I mean, I've not shown you the wage structure. You might have picked up on players' wages if you've been watching quite frequently, but Harley Dean wants to leave at the end of his contract, and I looked and I realised he's on £31,000 a week. That is ridiculous considering our financial status is insecure. He can happily leave at the end of his contract. I won't get rid of him now because as we approach January, I don't think we're going to be doing much business at all with the finances that we've got. So yeah, he can happily go. We are bringing in Liam Healy, who is a player that popped up on my scout report as a 19-year-old regen who's been scoring goals for fun in America. I think he's got some decent stats, really decent physicals, good finishing, good dribbling, definitely is workable in terms of his development. Might be one for the future. Just we'll keep an eye on his progress. But yeah, apart from that, I want to get straight into this game against Aston Villa. Premier League Aston Villa under Unai Emery, who sit 15th in the league. It's a big challenge for us, but it's one in which I think we can do an excellent job. I do want to rotate the squad just a little bit. We'll drop John Ruddy for Neil Etheridge, just because I think that Neil Etheridge has been playing in the Cups and done quite a decent job. He got the clean sheet against Barnsley. I'll play Harley Dean and Roberts, I think, in the back line. We'll keep Longello in. Bielik's on a booking, so I'll keep him in. We have got the game against Burnley on Monday, so I think I'll keep him in. Bakuna and Bellingham has been the midfield choice. I really like this guy, Jordan James, who's been developing quite quickly in our team. He's been more of my box-to-box. Maybe the future could be Bellingham and James in the middle, and he's been playing box-to-box and done quite all right. So I'll tell you what, let's drop him and we'll play James in this game. I know he's on a booking, but actually, do we do it? No, I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep with Bakuna. Keep Bellingham in the team. Chong, Somerville, swap them two round. I'll play Lecco instead of Somerville because I like using Lecco in the cup games. And I'm going to stick with Hogan up front, I think. Friend can get a place on the bench. And I'll tell you what, so can John Ruddy. So that will be the lineup for this crucial game. I did want to rest a few players, which I have done. But I am still playing a relatively strong side as we look to compete against Villa. They've got a great team. Martinez in there. Players like Buendia and Ramsey, McGinn, Coutinho. They just ooze Premier League quality. But this potentially is what we might have to compete with next season should this almost fairy tale-like story continue to develop. Unai Emery versus myself. A managerial Goliath and an understudy. Let's get this game kicked off. Come on, Birmingham. Oh dear, that's not what I wanted to see. As Tahith Chong has picked up an injury, I'm going to play Paqueta only because he's a player that I haven't spoken about much really in this save, and he hasn't really been able to get onto the bench and make appearances because we have so many lone players, and he's someone that's just here, and he's an okay backup. He's got some decent stats, so this could be a big opportunity for him to shine as we look to start this game well. So we'll play him, but that's unfortunate. I hope Chong is not out for a long time. Come on, Birmingham. Kamara with the first highlight from us from a free kick. Ramsey passes it back to him. McGinn fires it to Watkins, who plays it inside. Morelos misses. If I remember back to his stats from last FM, he's one of these players, similar to Hogan, who lacks a lot of composure and decision making in the final third. So let's hope his stats have moved over to this game, as well as Bellingham hits the post. Matty Cash clearing the ball. Come on, early chances here from Birmingham City. Plaqueta from this set piece whips a ball in. Kamara clears it. Bellingham hits it back. Are we going to continue this highlight, Roberts? No, we're not. Promising stuff here, though, from Birmingham. Cash to Buendia. Buendia fires a ball through to Morelos. He's got the pace to beat a man. He's done so. He shoots, and it's just fallen straight past Etheridge into the bottom corner. It makes you sit there and think, if John Ruddy was in the goal, would he have stopped that? He might have done. And it's an unfortunate through ball through to Morelos, who gives Aston Villa, the Premier League side, the lead at Villa Park. Oh, Dean's gone in for a tackle. And it's a red card for Harley Dean. Oh, this game has gone from bad to worse here in the 43rd minute. Harley Dean's. If we had a red card earlier from a defender, we got back into it by dropping Hogan. Hogan's going to be thinking, what on earth has he done? I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll play Hogan as an inside forward on attack and drop Leko. And then, oh my goodness me, my only backup really is George Friend unless we play Bielik. But I don't fancy doing that. So let's just bring on Friend. He'll get a bit of match sharpness playing 45 minutes here as well. And we do continue it on with a highlight. Bielik, who sits in deep to fire the ball to Bakuna. We could counter-attack here as Sanderson has space on the right side. Can't whip a ball into anyone. But he's got Hogan in support. Finds Bakuna, who can't get the ball out of his feet quick enough. And now it could be a counter from Aston Villa. Good deflection. Hogan wins it, loses it again. And they restart from the back. Mings to Kamara. Solid defensive partnership there. Surprised by how strong a team Villa have played here, so it shows that they want to do well in this competition. Buendia. That's offside. That has to be offside. You can't put a ball through like that and not be in an offside position. Otherwise, our defence has just been split open. What? Goodness me. How on earth has that been allowed to stand? Who's keeping him onside there as that ball's played through? How has that been allowed to... I'm sorry, but I don't actually understand how that goal has been allowed. I want to see the line here, in fact. But the ball hasn't... Unless Cash has knocked it... But it hasn't... Oh, I don't even know. I can't be bothered getting into that. That's an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace how that's been allowed. I'm going to say you've been poor. Etheridge seeming anxious now after that. It's all falling apart here against Premier League Aston Villa. But that's just surprised me. That really has surprised me how that's been allowed to happen. But back to the mind. We'll go to the back of the head and we'll just have to continue on with this game. As John McGinn finds Kamara to Jacob Ramsey. We just hope now 10 men down we don't get hammered here in front of our fans. Watkins makes it 3-0 in front of a packed down Villa Park. Deary me. It's not looking good. Bakuna, we're starting again. You just hope we don't lose the ball. And they counter-attack. Langelo. Plaqueta to Bielik. Overlapping run. Oh, Bellingham's been put through. Could Jude Bellingham get a goal here? He can get a goal. Aston Villa 3. Jude Bellingham finds a goal. Birmingham 1. I dare say we could turn this game around, but I don't think we're going to. Etheridge has been recommended that we replace him with John Ruddy. That's how bad it is. John Ruddy must be this unbelievable goalkeeper that our goalkeeper gets changed out. I tell you what, let's just try and encourage Neil Etheridge here. Anybody drops down as a result. Oh, goodness me. Could we counter-attack here and get a goal? Bielik, don't get sent off, please. Morelos. John McGinn. Watkins. Langelo, because of his attack duty, been forced out of position. Coutinho with it now on this left side. Finds it into Cash. He clips the crossbar. And it goes out of play. I'm really sceptical about keeping him on the pitch, Bielik. I will do so because I think he's got the experience not to get sent off. Bring on James as a box-to-box midfielder, and we'll bring on Somerville just to inject a little bit of pace into this team. Here we go. 70 minutes in, a highlight. Plaqueta to Longello. Finds Bielik. James. John McGinn intercepts the ball to Buendia. Longello gets it back, but Longello still keeps getting caught out of position. Right hand side is bombing him out there, and Etheridge spills it. Ollie Watkins, his 7th goal of the season. It's 4-1 to Aston Villa. And I dare say Neil Etheridge has had an absolute mare here today in front of Villa Park. He's an experienced, almost Premier League goalkeeper from his season at Cardiff, so it's surprising to see him do this poorly here today. But we need John Ruddy back between the sticks in this game. Augustinsson to put it in. Is it going to be 5? 5 means we've been absolutely hammered if it happens. Bailey with a great strike, only his 2nd of the season, and that was a speculative effort into the corner to seal what has been a grim day for our supporters. I mean, I just have to apologise on their behalf. Please don't make it 6. Bielik clears it out. Coutinho wins back the ball. Finds through to Etheridge. And we're able to retrieve it absolutely perfectly. Just get it out, Etheridge. Let's just finish this game off. Don't even want to see any more possession of us. There we go. Final whistle. Disappointing game. I mean, I'm going to be harsh here in the dressing room. Say you have been appalling. I'm far from pleased, but we can't really blame many people apart from, I dare say, the man that got sent off, Harley Dean. I'm going to say you can't get sent off in a game like that. You might look stressed, but it's just not good enough. You can't play like that. Deeney thinks he should be starting more games. Chong's out for 3 to 4 weeks. One game can just really go down the pan. And I tell you what, I need to speak to Etheridge and just say, you can't play like that. Criticised last game. I put my arm around you. You underperformed. He agrees with me. I tell you what we're going to do. Because of that absolutely horrific game, I'm going to give you another game in this episode. The first time we've done this, a Christmas special here on Football Manager. We'll play the game against Burnley away at Turf Moor. A big game for this race for the playoffs. Let's cut straight to that. Here we are then, ready for the Burnley game at Turf Moor. And I've got 2 pieces of information to share with you. The first one refers to Gary Gardner, who has picked up a gargantuan injury of 8 months. That is so bitterly disappointing for a player who actually has been quite good for us this season, playing in that defensive midfield position. An 8-month injury of his damaged cruciate ligaments, which is just horrific. Luckily, we have got some decent players in midfield. We've got a bit of depth in the form of youngsters James and Hall, who are going to have to be called up. We've still got Bielik and Bakuna, but just horrific that we've lost him for so long. And as well as that, I had a few days ago that Birmingham were finally once again attracting some interest amid takeover rumours, so hopefully we might have someone come in and take over from the current chairman. This is the lineup for the game against Burnley. John Ruddy comes back into the fold for this game. Maxime Collin, Sanderson, Roberts and Longello at the back. Bielik in the defensive midfield position with young midfield too, which is probably going to be hopefully the future of James and Bellingham. Somerville, Hannibal and Scott Hogan leads the line. Troy Deeney has been complaining of a lack of first team football, so I promised him that. But 2023 next season, probably he's going to go anyway on a free transfer, so I wouldn't be too disappointed if we lose him. Let's submit that team then and get straight into the game. You don't realise just how much we lack players this year. We've hardly got any. Next season, if we don't go up, not saying that I am going to go up, if we don't go up, this team is really going to look different. And what I don't want to do is have to try and sell players such as Bellingham, key assets, for money to be able to strengthen the team. And I do have a feeling that as much as I don't want to do it, it might be something we have to look to do. Let's get straight into this game then, away against Burnley. John Ruddy starts the game here. We need to bounce back after that devastating performance against Villa. Hannibal on the ball. Usually I play him in midfield, but with the injury to Chong, he's back out on the left. Earlier in the season, he wasn't very good there, but he's got Somerville on the right, who's running now with the ball. Finds Colin, who gets it to James, puts it in for Scott Hogan. He can't get there. and they're going to try and counter. Samiento gets the ball from Twine, finds it back to Twine. Bielik with a good tackle. Bellingham now tries to tackle, but they continue going, and the shot goes way wide of the post. Only 5 minutes to go until the first half. We've really not done much in this game. It's just been very, very quiet, and we have reached half-time. To be fair, away against Burnley, a side that are gunning for top 2, I'd be quite happy with a 0-0 draw. I'm going to say the fans turn up thick and thin. Ruddy's not happy with that, but he's playing really well at the minute. I just think maybe if I played him instead of Etheridge has just been the cup goalkeeper this year, but if he was in there instead of Etheridge, we might have done a little bit better. 7.1 rating, the best of anyone at this moment in time. As we hit the hour mark, still nothing happened. We look to try and grab a goal. We'll see what we can do on off the bench. Everyone's just playing quite poorly. I want to keep Hannibal on for a little bit longer. We'll bring on Bakuna instead of James, but apart from that, nothing else we can really do. Give Hannibal a little bit more time to see if he can make an impact, and a highlight comes from this. Taylor, Harwood Bellis. I really like him as a defender as well on loan from Manchester City. I think he's really good. Bellingham to Somerville, who cuts inside with the ball. Bielik, can he make an overlap and run there? No, but he gets it to Longello, who puts a good first touch, fires it through to Hannibal, slots it in. Scott Hogan's there, and we take the lead. A huge goal from Scott Hogan, and Birmingham City take the lead 73 minutes in. Great bit of play there. Great switch from Bielik over to this left-hand side, and it's the touch and pass by Longello. Slips it through to Hannibal, and it's the case of just playing it through into the box. Hogan with the tap in, and we take the lead here. Little bit longer to go. Bielik and Longello, because they've played a lot of games, starting to look tired. I am going to try Hall, actually, for the final few minutes at the ball-winning midfield role. Somerville, Faleko, maybe. Keep him on. I can't take off Longello, I don't think, because I just really don't want to do that. Look at that. Not been much chances in this game at all. Let's bring on Leko for Somerville. And I think I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to change anything. Just keep it the same for the minute. 5 minutes of added time to go. Can we see out the game? Ooh, highlight. I hate it when it's like this. What are they going to do? Harwood Bellis. Please don't concede, lads. I haven't tried to... Oh, it's not that. Colin's been sent off. What are you doing? 2 red cards in 2 games. What is happening to us? Why we became this dirty side all of a sudden that likes to get cards? I think Sanderson has to go at right back. We'll take off the goal scorer Hogan. And we'll bring on George Friend. I can't make any more changes. Goodness me. Right. Oh my God. Why has Hogan got a better star rating at defence than Hall, who's a ball-winning midfielder? Bakuna could probably do a job there. We'll play Hogan at cam. And then we'll do that. Actually, we'll play him on the left. Swap these two. Look at this. Changing it up like it's no tomorrow. We'll play, because Leko's right-footed, isn't he? Yeah, we'll play him as a left-sided player like that. Scott Hogan can go as an inside forward. I'll stay on support. We won't play anyone in the attacking role. Look at this tinkering we're having to do. We'll swap these two round. He can be a box-to-box. He can be a ball midfield, box-to-box, and he can be a Mazzala. Let's just really sit back now and try and see out this game. A 1-0 performance. Slow pace down. Regroup. Stop the overlap. Stop that. There we go. Just time waste. Discipline. Dribble less. Play for set pieces. We'll go cautious. And we'll not play as wide. There's going to be a few more minutes added on now as well. And there's a highlight, naturally, that comes from such a highlight. Bakuna, in defence, finds it John Ruddy. John Ruddy hoofs it. He can't hoof it to a striker, but he can get the ball to Hogan. Hannibal gets the loose ball. I'll take it being one of our highlights. Sanderson. Come on, you've got a bit of pace, Sanderson. Oh, don't lose it, though. Backs against the wall now, lads. Just defend for these final few minutes. Cork. Longello clears it only as far as Connor Roberts. Goodmanson slides it through. Get it out, Bakuna. He's done just that. Only as far as Rodriguez. You just sent a goal. What a save, John Ruddy. Defensive. Just stop everything, lads. What you're doing. Goodness me. Just, sit lower, sit lower. Oh my goodness me, what a save that was. What a goalkeeper. That's why you got a contract extension. And what a win. What a 3 points. Devastating that Maxim Collin is now red carded, because it means I'm going to have to do yet more changes to this lineup. But it's a big 3 points. It's still a 6 point gap to Middlesbrough. 2 points from Norwich, even though they've got a game in hand. But what a victory that is for us. We're 12 unbeaten as well. That's a stat that's gone a little bit unnoticed. 12 games unbeaten. That's the making of a side that are challenging for something very special this season. I hope you've enjoyed that episode of the Birmingham Civ. A real mixed bag from the 5-1 defeat to a big 1-0 victory against Burnley. And what we'll do is we'll come back for around February time for the next episode of this save. If you're really enjoying it, hit the like button, comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. I hope you've enjoyed the double header, and I'll see you for another episode of this save very, very soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.